Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the Free-to-Play Cast, brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. This is episode 318, and I'm your host, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. Magicman, and Fortnite did not have a good week. Pearl Abyss is bringing us 3 new games, but will they be free-to-play? We have no idea. And we've got some mini rapid fire for you, covering some small things in the world of free-to-play gaming, because none of you cared about BlizzCon. One reply on what you liked about BlizzCon, and it wasn't even the free-to-play portion. And I can't blame you, because BlizzCon sucked for the free-to-play side of business, with the exception of, hey, Hearthstone's getting some stuff. Joining me to talk through all of it, Mr. Jason Winter. How are you, sir?
This free-to-play cast was cobbled together with duct tape and a little bit of a staple gun. And we found this, we jammed it in here. It's a smorgasbord of whatever crap we had left over that we just kind of tossed into a cast.
Exactly. Also here to talk about this smorgasbord of free-to-play goodness, Ms. Quinlan Bowers. What's up, Q?
He really sold it.
He did.
Really,
yeah, he really did.
sold it.
Like everybody,
I want to watch it now.
Yeah, everybody totally wants to watch this show right now.
Tune in. We're going to be like 10 minutes long. That's how much we have to talk about.
Woo!
Yeah, so it was one of those weeks. And this always happens around November, December. It starts to slow down. We have a really busy, like, August and September. You know, there's always something to talk about on those casts. Then we hit November, December, and it's everybody's just getting ready to wind down the year. So it's like, can we get 10 minutes out of this topic? Oh, God, I feel like we would just be repeating ourselves if we tried to get 10 minutes out of this topic. All right, well, can we get 10 out of these 3 topics? Yeah, but that really sucks. But we did manage to get enough together that I think it'll be a good show.
You know, I sell the cast, and you basically want to say, well, it really sucks. It's like, come on, man, work with me a little bit. Work with me.
No, I'm talking about how we try to build the cast, not this particular episode.
Oh, sure.
I think for the first 2 topics, we can get 10 minutes out of easy, the way I organized it. But it was a lot of sitting there going, what goes together to make one big topic rather than just do a 45-minute rapid fire round, which I think is like, hey, did you know that Bless Unleashed went to open beta? Jason, what do you think? Well, it's open beta. Q, what do you think? Well, it went to open beta. All right, moving on. But let's get started with the news. All right, first up, Fortnite not having another great week, and then really did not have a good last month. But let's start with the week. So right after the cast last week, which we did on like the 1st, so Monday, we covered news that a Fortnite Battle Royale streamer, and I'm going to mispronounce this, and I apologize. I'm just not familiar with the Fortnite streaming scene enough. Faze Jarvis was banned from the game for creating pretty much it was like an entertainment video, right? It wasn't like a tutorial or anything like that, Jason. It was more to be entertaining, but in the content used an aimbot. Now, they weren't in competitive matches. They were in non-competitive matches, and it was more for, again, entertaining and interesting than a tutorial, or he certainly wasn't doing a video on here's how you use the aimbot or anything like that. And Epic found out about it and gave him the boot, Jason.
How did Epic find out about it, Mike?
I'll let you.
They found out about it because he's a YouTuber and he posted it to YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't a lot of
not a lot of
hardcore investigation that
nobody had to report him for this. Like, I think this guy was hacking. I don't know. We got to look at evidence in our code and so forth. No, there's a video of it right there. Oh, okay. Well, he says he's doing it. Well, I guess he did it then, actually. But yeah, I mean, he's a 17-year-old kid. He makes decent money on his YouTube channel. So, it is sort of his living, so to speak, at 17, which I wish I'd have had YouTube at 17, in which case I could have had at least 7 or 8 people watching my videos of stupid stuff I do. But yeah, he did this. He got banned, which is what Epic does to people who use aimbots in their games. And what anyone does to anyone who uses an aimbot or any sort of malicious third-person party, anything like that, speed hacks, whatever. That's what you do. You do that, you get banned, or you get some other harsh kind of punishment. He did it, and it's great. It's brought about a bit more conversation because of his status in the community, because he is a YouTuber, because he has what is it like a few million subscribers to his channel. I don't know what it is, but which was surprising because I thought we were the #1 channel on YouTube. But
well, we have our staff looking into it again.
He can be number
looking
2.
into
That's
it
fine.
Again.
Yeah, he's a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
but getting
almost 2.1 million subscribers.
2.1. Okay. Yeah, it's not nearly as much as us. But yeah, basically, if you're going to ask my opinion, I like the action by Epic just because they're not making exceptions. A lot of times you'll see companies, some streamer or YouTuber breaks a rule of some kind, and people complain that, they didn't punish them because they're a big streamer and they bring in money to Fortnite or Epic or whatever the company is. Whereas here, they actually just went by the rules. They said, all right, you did this, you're going to get banned. That's how it is. So I do like the move.
This one gets a little dicey, though, Q, because typically in these types of scenarios, right, it's the IP that's banned, right? The Epic's servers or how their detection, their anti-cheat software, whatever they're using, would detect me using the aimbot, and they would ban my IP. Now, in this particular case, right? If it happened to me, I could proxy in through a different IP, create a different account, ban my account or whatever. They don't know me, right, is what I'm saying. They know my IP that I was playing from when they banned me. They know the account that I was playing, and they could ban that account. But it's not a big deal for me to spin up another free account, proxy an IP if I need to, if I had an IP ban. In this case, Epic actually knows, and so does everybody, the exact player. They know it was Jason Winter. They know it was Quinlan Bowers. They know it was Mike Byrne. So it does kind of beg the question a little bit, is creating another account an option for Jarvis? In that, if any account detail points directly to Jarvis, what does Epic do with that account? Do they then ban that account saying, we have banned this player? Or have they already taken all the action they need to, and if Jarvis created another account, that's beyond Epic's control, and if cheating is done on that account, they will then ban that account. It's a weird, cloudy gray position for Epic to be in on the whole spin up another account argument.
Well, I mean, I feel like the only way that they would know that it was him again is if he started streaming again, right? Like if he started streaming his play and they're watching and they're going, oh, well, it's him.
Exactly.
And he's
That's
posting
my
on the
whole
same
point.
Twitter account.
Yeah.
Right. So what it comes down to is on his end, yes, he could easily spin up another account and do the IP thing and all of that jazz. But he wouldn't be able to promote what he's doing on any existing social stuff. He would basically have to start from scratch. And maybe not put his image on it. It would be, this whole thing as far as the actual streamer portion of it goes. As a player, he'd probably be just fine if he just played. But as a content creator,
right,
that's a whole different thing.
What do you think Epic does, Jason? Fine, it's just like Q said, if Jarvis wants to play, just to play Fortnite, fine, spin up another account, and do your thing. But as far as, the livelihood, the making a career out of this, that being what pays the bills, spinning up another account, the minute you put up a video, the minute you stream on your Twitch channel, if Epic sees that, knowing that not only do we know that there was an aimbot used and we took care of that, but we know who used it and we see that player is in game again, did they ban that account too? Or did they say, let's just watch it? We've already reacted and banned the previous account. If they do it again, we'll ban this account. Or do they tie it to the player? Because they know who the player is. And
that is kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is the funny part of it, is because I almost think they should maybe not do anything, if only because that would probably fit in with their rules. Because I don't know exactly what their rules are and what they have in their totally in their terms and conditions, whatever. But it probably is just something like if this account is found cheating, we will ban the account.
Yeah.
They would like
It's
to.
usually
Obviously they
not
would-
tied to Jason Winter.
Yeah. What if the rule is actually, you ban an account, you don't ban the person, then maybe they can kind of save a little face in a sort of way, in a way, in that they could do that and still just ban the account, let him create a new thing. Yes, start over. He's not going to have any of his cosmetics or any of the gear or whatever he has. So he still has to do that, but at least then he won't be completely put out from all this.
Yeah. Well,
and they could also say they're not doing things differently for him than they would for anyone else.
Correct, which I think is going to be a huge thing for them as far as responding to this. Jarvis did put up an apology video, by the way. What the hell? Put up an apology video dictating, what he had done and apologized for it and talking about the ban. And okay, the world moves on. Well, not quite. Because then another very, very prominent, I think you may have heard of this individual Fortnite streamer by the name of, I believe it's Ninja.
You sure you got that pronounced right?
I might have that one. Ninja, Ninja,
9J.
9JA,
Watson.
Ninja JA, decided to chime in. Now, I will say this, okay? So, and Q, I'll let you speak more to this too. This is all from a conversation on stream, and then was broadcast on some news outlets. And I don't think some of the other news outlets were as fair to Ninja with what Ninja actually said on stream. They made this kind of more, Ninja just flat out was like, no, this dude should never have been banned. He's a content creator. They're impervious to the rules. That's not really what Ninja was saying.
No, it's not. It is a little wonky. There is a point where if you watch the entire thing, you're like, okay, that's just the tiniest bit, probably out of touch a little bit. But he brought up a few points. One, like he did say somewhere in the middle that he doesn't really feel bad for the kid or think that the kid shouldn't be punished in some way. He does feel that the punishment was maybe a little bit harsh for a first-time offense, and with it being like a 17-year-old kid just kind of doing something stupid or whatever. And then he also brought up the fact that part of the problem with this is what we already kind of discussed earlier, the fact that he is a content creator. This is the kid's livelihood. If it's a regular cheater who gets perma-banned, because that is the thing. This is a permanent ban. This isn't a 6-month ban or a year ban. This is a permanent ban. If a regular player gets perma-banned, they just go roll up a new account and start all over again, right? And, continue doing whatever it is that they're doing. Whereas with this particular person, it because it is a permaban, and the whole question of now what happens if he does go and create a new account and yada yada yada, it affects his income. So I mean, it is a weird place, and yes, he didn't specifically say. He did say flat out the kid needed to be punished. He just thinks that maybe the punishment didn't quite fit the crime.
Yeah, it was a little too harsh.
And he did make another point that I was kind of like, okay, well that's a bit dubious, because of all the people to bring up as an example of this person didn't get punished, and taking into account it was a different company that you're dealing with as well. Yes, both of these people are YouTubers, but in the case of Logan Paul, he only had to deal with YouTube. YouTube made those decisions. It wasn't Epic making a decision. It was YouTube making a decision to, I think they did actually ban him temporarily and then brought him back, if I remember correctly. So I don't, but it's still the whole, because they're making money off of these people, therefore they want to keep these people around. And, he also stated, effectively that, these game companies rely on content creators to promote their games and do that kind of stuff. The hilarious part being one of the individuals he was speaking with was basically pointed out, I think Epic will be okay.
Yeah. Well, funny. We're going to talk about that next. But, yeah, Jason, I get the, maybe you think the perma ban was too harsh. Okay, I'm willing to sit there with Ninja and say, maybe you're right. This was an entertainment video. It was not done in a competitive setting. It wasn't even in a competitive match. It was more for fun and chuckles, and so maybe a perma ban. But when you start treading into that, well, you should think about content creators differently, that's where I kind of stop agreeing with you. As far as, I don't think Epic should take into consideration for any punishment, whether it's aimbot or something else, well, if we ban this person, we might be impacting their livelihood. I don't think that's Epic's responsibility, and I don't think it should be part of the formula. So I start to disagree with Ninja there. That Epic should go, well, he's a young kid, he made a dumb mistake, and hey, do we really want to take away what his livelihood is? And I don't like the counter argument, by the way, that, oh, well, they should get a real job, which is, of course, something you see in the comments on these types of pieces all the time. It is a real job as far as the amount of time that they grow their brands and all that stuff. I'm not even remotely agreeing with that, but I don't think it's Epic's responsibility to say, well, this is Jason's livelihood, so I just don't.
I don't even agree with this first point or about any point of it, because it's like, well, that means that basically, if I ever did get caught cheating from my email address or whatever, all I have to do now is I just write to Epic and say, well, I'm just a 17-year-old kid. And I was just doing it for fun. I didn't know what I was doing. Please reinstate me. You did it for the other guy.
Well, no, and I don't have any type of problem with that discussion,
he
though.
Was making, though.
Yeah.
He said it. He did say the kid deserved a punishment.
Well, okay,
he just thought that a perma ban, and in that case, when you're making that argument, though, that goes for everybody, right? A perma ban for a first time offense, that if you're making the argument that it's not right for him, then it's not right for everybody. It doesn't matter if it's like a first time offense thing. Then okay, well, they only deserve a 6-month or a year ban or whatever. Then that should be across the board, which was not entirely what he was saying, right? Because he was basically like, well, all these other people, whatever. But as far as the maybe it was a slightly harsh punishment to ban him permanently, but it would be a harsh punishment for everyone.
Yeah, and I think you get into the weird area too here, that it's an aimbot. Like, if they don't have some type of harsh reaction, then it's almost, well, aimbots are kind of okay as long as you're in this category of game, and it's just not okay in this one, where aimbots are clearly something Epic wants everybody to know. If you are caught using it, you're out. Screw it. So I think the actual offense kind of weighs into here too, where it might be easier to say, did we react a little too harsh for this situation? Let's revisit the punishment. If it was anything other than aimbotting.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, well, what have they done for everyone else? Again, a year and a half ago, if someone aimbotted in Fortnite, did they get a permaban? Or any? Probably.
Probably.
So why would it be different here?
Yeah.
What's the reason?
Yep. So yeah, we'll watch it. I may disagree with Ninja, but he's still making a lot more money than I, so who cares?
I wish I had his job.
Right. Finally, before we leave Fortnite, Jason, I'm going to turn this one over to you because, yeah, Fortnite's still doing well, but not as well.
Yeah, Super Data had a new report out this week talking about the income from free-to-play games and from a lot of games that use microtransactions in general through in September 2018, and they singled out Fortnite by saying that now they said conversion and they use some other term, in-game spending and so on, which we're assuming to mean the percentage of people who spend money in the game. Or at least spend on extra transactions. Some of these games are paid.
Usually the way these metrics are defined is in-game spending would be total players that spent money divided by total players. Conversion in particular is the number of players typically. Now, again, there were no definitions given. They may be doing slight variations of this calculation. But conversion typically means the number of first-time spenders in your game divided by total players. So once I hit the conversion metric, by making a purchase, I will never then, in subsequent months, ever be in the conversion metric again. But I will still always be considered in-game spending every time I ring something up.
Yeah, I'm iffy about how they said it, but in any case, what they said.
Well, no,
was
I'm
that,
just giving the typical
yeah,
way those
yeah.
metrics are used.
I don't think they did that, but in any case, they said that in September 2018, those rates, whatever, were 30 and 36% on PC and console, but in 2019 were only 16 and 10%, and that overall 8% of people, over 8% of players, paid for additional in-game content, which would include, I suppose, mobile figured into all that. So yeah, that is a pretty significant drop for Fortnite, and all the other games they showed off too had very low overall spending rates, like 8%, 2% for some of them. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that is, because I'd always thought it was a lot higher in a lot of games, at least in the 10 to 15, 20% range. So maybe that's just the influence of mobile, or maybe it's just how games are going nowadays. So interesting to see it down that low.
It is interesting. It's still a juggernaut, still an absolute juggernaut. But...
Yeah, I mean 8% or whatever of what Fortnite, or 8%
right.
of Fortnite's players is more than most other games have total players. So.
Right. Yeah. Still a juggernaut as far as the dollars go. All right, moving on, let's talk a little bit about Pearl Abyss. Now, we'll be getting more information about what we're going to talk about here next week when Pearl Abyss goes into G-Star 2019 next week in South Korea. But they did announce 3 new titles. Now, we don't know if any of these are free-to-play, so we're covering them under the... It is possible, based on the descriptions and that genre, that these will likely be free-to-play. But we do need to put the caveat on it of... a lot of us still believe that Black Desert should have been free to play back then and certainly should be now, and isn't. So take it with a grain of salt where Pearl Abyss goes. Pearl Abyss's official answer on this, by the way, because I did email them to try and get a little information on any of them, and the team just said, we don't have any information to share at this time. We'll be sure to send more details once they are released. So we'll go under the assumption that they could be free to play. 3 new games. Let's start with Plan 8. It's described as an exosuit MMO shooter, a collectible MMORPG for all ages. I'm sorry, that's the other game. Plan 8, exosuit MMO shooter. Jason, what the hell do we know about this one?
That just sounds like Anthem to me or something like that.
It really does.
Doesn't it? Because you have a shooter. It's a shooter. You're in an exosuit. It probably is maybe in that same, maybe it is a looter shooter in that same genre of things. But yeah, basically it's going to be, well, actually the one of the lead guys is the co-creator of the Counter-Strike franchise. Actually was one of the co-creators of the original mod for Half-Life. So that's a pretty good name to have on. Production being led by the former entertainment art director of Black Desert and Black Desert Mobile. So.
Yeah, we don't even have the trailer yet. They're teasing that the reveal trailer is coming soon, presumably G-Star.
Yeah, the website just has an image of some guy with a gun and there's fire.
Yep, and, it says, and on the site it says trailer 11/14, which would coincide with G-Star.
Next week, yep.
So we'll keep an eye on that. What is this? Doke V.
I think it's Doke V. It's like Daisy, you know?
Yeah, Doke V. Again, we're getting a trailer on 10/14 or 11/14. Collectible MMORPG for all ages. Oh, okay. Yeah, Q, I think you're saying it best. Okay. Sure. Any ideas on this one, Jason? A collectible MMORPG for all ages. The site is very, looks like younger age oriented. Yeah, very cartoony.
You know, I almost feel like it almost gives me a feel like a Pokemon Go, like an AR game maybe, because you got people walking around in the city and it's collectible, which is kind of how Pokemon Go works. That's
yeah.
my initial, probably way out there and not even close to correct prediction, but.
Now, Q, the one we have a little bit more information on is Crimson Desert, and we're supposed to get a trailer 11/14 as well, so we'll have a lot of coverage late next week, and hopefully we'll have a better idea on which ones will fit free-to-play molds, if any are going to be free-to-play. I just don't think they'll probably make the payment model announcement at G-Star. unless they're free to play, right?
They always want to say those right off.
That they want there right out.
And also, we're not pay to win.
Right.
Those two go together.
An open-world MMORPG set in an epic fantasy world where 3 tribes will fight for control of the Pywell continent. RYL Online's former game designer, director Jason Jung heads up the development of this game. I think this is probably the one we're the most interested in, or at least personally I am. Jason, you probably aren't because it's another fantasy MMORPG. But I dig them from Korea. I
like them, but they're just usually crappy from Korea.
Q, what do you think about this one? The site is very like Game of Thrones character looking.
Which almost puts me off right there.
It's got a very Jon Snow ripoff type looking guy.
Of course it does.
He's so dreamy.
Anyway, I do. The only thing I really thought about this one was just kind of looking at the title because I just, had initially glanced at it when the thing came up and it was like, oh, another desert. Yeah, that's probably going to be buy to play. And it's like just kind of went on about my business from there. But yeah,
So,
I mean, it's I might
not
try
looking
it.
forward to it. Oh, all right.
It's an MMO. I'll probably try it, but I'm not fussed.
Those are the ones that will probably get more information later at G-Star. One game that they are going into closed beta for, Shadow Arena, a fantasy arena fighter game. This one I don't believe is free to play. It is for consoles, or the lead producer of the console version of Black Desert is heading it up, sorry. You can sign up for closed beta on the website. There is a little trailer for that one. Typically, arena fighting games, yeah, I just don't, I don't see this one as being free to play, Jason.
Probably not. No.
Actually, if let's make our predictions sure to go wrong, I'm going to go with it's Pearl Abyss. I'm going to go with Plan 8 and Crimson Desert are not free to play. Doke V or Doke V, I think will be free to play. Jason, your thoughts?
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Yeah,
but I'll go different. I'll go out and call Plan 8 free to play as well.
Oh, all right. Q.
I'm definitely sticking with Crimson Desert not being free to play. Yeah, I would think Doke, whatever. It's going to be hilarious if it's actually Doke 5. Yeah, Doke would probably. It's for kids, right? So probably free.
Yeah, that's why I'm leaning to that one being free. Get the audience that you can.
Oh, I'm split on the shooter though, because I mean, there's that whole thing of like, if you really want enough people in your shooter, you probably should just go free to play, so you have enough people in there to fight. Not that it does everybody a lot of good.
So you're gonna go with Jason.
That's right,
all
Arena. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to go with Jason. All right. So we'll have more information about those, even if it's, hey, we're not going to cover this anymore next week on the free-to-play cast, hopefully, right? 14th? We would have to do the show late on the 14th. Yeah. Well, oh, no, because
No.
G-Stars, yeah, so we'll get the information late Wednesday.
Yeah, late Thursday.
Let's hit some small things before we head over to the bombs. Q, this one I'm going to throw to you. Ion in Europe is introducing 2,000 player PvP. And when you sent the article to me for editing, I added to the headline, we aren't sure why either, because I'm just not sure why.
Well, I kind of understand why. Ion really, when they did that whole thing, I can't even remember which update it was, where they basically went in and wiped out several of the zones and moved dungeons around. They basically made the game just rush to the end and get on the PvP. And that's pretty much your focus for Ion at this point, like even above and beyond the PvP, like the way it existed when the game, like, they mostly eliminated crafting and housing doesn't do anything and everything else. It's literally just go in there and fight. So I kind of understand why they would add more PvP. I'm not sure that I guess they have that many players in at one time to do this with. Like,
Maybe?
I don't know. I'm not really sure on that. The 12-person dungeon makes sense. But yeah, it's just them, continuing to roll with that heavy PvP focus that they put in
Way back
a
when.
year or two ago. Whenever they did that reboot and we went in and toyed around with it.
Yep. So if you're in the EU, go ahead and check it out. I guess the United States will have to wait.
My question is, how big is this area to fight in? Because 2,000 people in like even a larger kind of like battleground in a lot of MMOs, it's going to be like bodies after bodies.
What are you talking about? PlanetSide Arena's doing it just fine.
Mike, you're frozen again.
What?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you froze.
All right. There we go. PlanetSide Arena's doing just fine with it. Their maps aren't that
Yeah,
big.
whatever.
Yeah.
Even
Jason,
base PlanetSide, I think had like a mix of 2,000 per server, and they spread them out. So anyway.
this one's for you, Jason. The Lord of the Rings Online does have its new expansion up and running, effective a week ago. Well, I should say it launched a week ago and then quickly was not up and running for about a day and a half or so. As some severe server issues were happening, and so the team had to take the game offline for a lot of fixes. Minus Morgul adds 2 new zones, new level cap of 130, and Jason, your favorite, the new Stout Axe Dwarves race. I'm sure you're already in there playing it because of that, right?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what's got me going in there. Yeah.
And any hearing any feedback from old friends on this one?
God, nobody I know plays this anymore. But actually, just interesting to know that I just did a quick Google search on our site for Lotro server. Lotro DDO server is down for the 3rd day running. Was a headline on March 8th.
Yep.
And I thought they moved their servers, like actual physical servers. Like they were down for like 2 or 3 days while they moved that, like a couple of years ago. I thought they did. They had a Lotro EU server move. That was what they were gonna do. And I can't say anything else about moving servers, but God, they need to get better hamsters or something because they just have issues. But yeah, it's a new expansion. They're going to add the new raid, and this is later because I guess
because you can't add it now. That's for sure. You got to wait for the servers to be up and running.
I remember playing this game in like 2009 and going, man, I can't wait till we get to Mordor. That's going to be so awesome. Or like it's going to be like 2017 or something. It actually was. And by then we'd all stopped playing for like 5 years. So.
Yep.
But that new Athlon game, that's going to be great, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to the Lord of the Rings from Amazon.
It's not going to look anything like the Lotro.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell just by looking.
Yeah.
And so to our viewer a couple weeks ago that asked why we don't talk about Lotro, you're welcome. Moving on to finish this up. Legends of Runeterra. Again, not a whole lot of information, but Terra, Q. Terra. Fuck.
That's your official name now. Q.
Q. I was looking at the word Runeterra. Sorry. If you've got an idea for Legends of Runeterra, you could get yourself a free tablet. That's pretty cool, right?
Well, a free tablet and a free iPhone 11.
Well, that's even cooler.
Yeah, that is. It's kind of cool. It's not going to be the easiest thing to accomplish. It's
they're
one
not
of
just looking for a forum post here.
No, there's an entire process and like a whole. You have to get a group together of at least of up to 5 people. I guess you can just do it by yourself if you want to, but. I mean, if you're going to be doing it anyway, you might as well get 4 of your friends to go along, and you might all get, a Galaxy Tab S6 and an iPhone 11.
So if anybody's going to do this, put my name on that shit.
Right. But you have to submit the idea. It goes through vetting. They may contact you for actual, like, proof of concept kind of stuff and all of that jazz. And and it can't be any one of the things that they've already worked with somebody else on to create.
That seems a bit convenient, Jason. They'd be like, Jason, great idea. Too bad we're already working on it.
Well, they do list what these things are.
Oh, okay.
So you
All
could
right.
go look at the rule set and see what it is that they already have in the works. And like I think a deck builder is one of them. You know, a Twitch extension. I'm not sure what kind of Twitch extension, but just check the rules very closely before you try to do it.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot of stuff here. On the other side of Runeterra from Riot Games, Jason, they talked a little bit about monetization, and I mean, there's really not much to say here besides they're saying all the right things, right? It's not going to be pay to win. It's not all about the money, etc., etc., etc. Nobody's ever said this before in the history of gaming, so we know they're being serious.
You know, I still don't think they've said the classic CCG line, which is easy for people to pick up, but has lots of strategy for advanced players, whatever. They haven't said that one, as far as I'm concerned.
The whole Othello tagline. Anybody remember that board game?
I remember that. Yeah,
a minute to learn, a lifetime to master.
Exactly. Actually, one of the interesting things they did mention in this was how they said that they want players to find it easy to be set complete when a new expansion launches. In other words, you should be able to play through and get everything you need, every card in the set, if you play regularly. Now, they said it to be like 7 to 10 games per day for the first set, because it's going to be kind of large.
Right, and they have that whole gating thing specifically because they don't want you to be able to just full set it on day one.
Yeah, but the fact that they want you to be able to get full set throughout the whole expansion, throughout the whole process, until the new expansion comes out without spending money, is kind of a neat thing for them to be promising. Whereas I've played plenty of Hearthstone, and I still don't have a complete set of even the base set. So,
did you?
No, I still haven't recovered my account yet.
No. I'm talking. You mentioned Hearthstone.
I'll send it to my email address. We all know now.
I wanted to know. God damn you! I wanted to know if you had tried Battlegrounds yet. I don't know if you pre-ordered or if you had virtual ticket or if you were in the early beta or if you're waiting till next Tuesday.
No, I haven't.
Okay. No. Before we move on and do the bombs, I mean, we usually do a whole show about financials because Nexon and NCSoft come out at the same time. We got Blizzard's financials, which really weren't looking that great. The bubble burst on that one and is continuing to burst, I would imagine, with the boycotts. Nexon, it wasn't a great Q3, Jason, for them, but there really wasn't anything in there that warranted having it as its own topic today. They're down a little bit, but trending-wise, they still look strong.
Makes me feel a little bad that the only time we want to ever really report on something is when this company's going in the shitter now. We're going to talk about it.
Well, no. To be fair, we talk about it when there's big ups too, but
sure.
There's not even an individual game here that we could go, hey, we're surprised about this.
I mean, they did say they had lifetime high quarterly revenue from MapleStory, which continues to shock me for it being like a 12-year-old game or whatever it is, and apparently MapleStory 2 is just it doesn't get mentioned at all really anymore.
No, it really doesn't.
Like, I've looked at the Steam numbers and it's not pretty. So.
MapleStory Mobile does though.
Oh yeah. That also. Let's see. Whatever. Dungeon Fighter, blah. Yeah, whatever. Stuff happened.
Yeah, I mean, so they're on a hell of a trend with a bad quarter behind them. So I think more importantly is what happens in Q4 after a bad Q3. And see where the trend starts to go from there. Let's slide over and do the weekly bombs. Q, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to be cranky and give an A-bomb to everyone that thinks Christmas has already started. What is wrong with you people?
That was November 1st, right? That's when that starts.
We had Christmas decorations in stores in mid-October.
Did you really?
Wrong? That's so wrong. You at least got to do the post-Halloween candy knockoff sales before you start putting up the Christmas decorations.
See, I remember the Christmas decorations didn't go till after Thanksgiving. Now they're up after Halloween. Soon they're going to be up after the 4th of July. That's where we're going.
Leave them up all year. It's easier. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm going to give an obligatory bomb to The Outer Worlds because everybody thinks it's awesome.
Are you playing it?
I have played some. I'm going to get back into it. I'm taking a little bit of a break now while I work on some other stuff.
Well, if you played it, why are you giving it a bomb? Because other people think it's awesome.
Because everybody thinks it's awesome, and I want to get in on it while I'm while it's still hot.
So I
Okay.
bought it too. I didn't know you had bought it on PC. I've only played for like an hour because any free time lately has been Call of Duty Modern Warfare PvP.
Okay.
I know. I don't understand it myself either.
More
So,
PvP you actually like and are good at?
oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't say the good at part,
Okay,
but
all right, all
I
right.
do enjoy it. Yeah, my lifetime KDR is like a 0.9 at the moment. So, I mean, it's not like the numbers are all that huge. I can recover, but so yeah. But I only played an hour of it, and I'm really looking forward to getting some time in there too. So we'll have to compare notes when we've both had some time to play it.
Okay.
I'm going to give a nervous bomb for Bless Unleashed Open Beta. It is installed over here on the Xbox One, on the projector. I wasn't all that thrilled when I got into some earlier beta testing during their alpha phase. I know that since then they've revamped combat a little bit. I don't know how much they possibly could have, but they say they did. So crossing fingers. I opted not to do a first look back then on the alpha, even though there was no NDA, because it just wasn't great, and it wouldn't have been representative of the final product. I'll play it over the weekend a little bit and make a judgment call on whether I'm going to do a first look on the open beta or we wait for the official launch, because the open beta is only like 2 weeks long or something like that, so we'll see what happens. From the viewers, Nisagra says, A-bomb to Jason. All of his candy jokes, wait for it, were milk duds. Yeah!
All right, Nasaga, I'll give you that one. I snickered at it.
Oh!
Oh.
You guys are a bunch of fucking zag nuts. Go ahead, Jason.
William Hoeen says, okay, A-bomb to myself for being confused with insert company name / Blizzard instead of Activision Blizzard.
Because of last week they put EA Blizzard.
Oh, right, yeah, that's right. That's that guy. But hey, I'm listening to you while working, so writing these comments pretty quick, whispering to self, he should do the trick. Dub for Jason's candy rating, I'm fat now.
Oh,
that was the plan.
Go ahead, Q.
Genesee, to bomb to Jason's candy ratings. The show cannot have enough dad jokes. Oh, I think it can.
Oh, no. Dad jokes are amazing. Love dad jokes. Love them. Yamikami, A-bomb, Blizzard's non-apology. Seriously, that is not an apology. Yong Ye, and especially Jim Sterling's son, made good videos about why it isn't. I like Blizzard as a whole, but we can't let go because we unfortunately have to make an example. We have to sacrifice Blizzard for the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. While I might think that that's a bit harsh
Got dark.
and got dark really quickly, I think we said as much.
No, that's a thing. That's a quote.
I know. I know, Q. Thank you, though. We said the same. I thought it was brilliant that they led with it as a statement, but in the analysis of the statement, all of us said it's not going to change anybody's mind on anything because there's nothing here that they didn't already say or do. And then we were not stunned to see all the headlines the following day that said exactly that same thing. Yeah, the statement itself didn't do much. Go ahead, Jason.
Zhao. How do I get people with all the vowels today? Anyway. Zhao says, and this is in response to us talking about, League of Legends, the article last week about League of Legends might not have happened. He says, I like League of Legends not being a thing. I lost friends IRL, otherwise to that game. It just absorbed them and their time. But they'd all be playing Heroes from New Earth now. That's the problem.
And
well, they'd be playing something.
And I don't know if Zhao is male or female, so sorry for
sorry about that. Whatever.
Sorry for the assumption on Jason's part, you devil.
I know.
Go ahead, Q.
Emiko-chan 13. I think without League, Heroes of New Earth would probably have picked up slowly over time. Then Dota 2 would have come out and did what it did in this universe. I feel like the League community don't play other MOBAs.
Probably right. Question of the week, your favorite BlizzCon announcement, free-to-play or not? I even opened it up to the not because there wasn't a lot of free-to-play going on, and really the only one that cared was Emiko-chan 13. Says, Diablo 4, wow, it's like they're combining everything I loved from 1, 2, and 3. Can't wait to make a terrible support sorceress build. I'm excited for Diablo 4 as well. Please note, though, that one of the things they said is that it will have to be online all the time, and while that's not a big deal, us Diablo players on PC are already familiar with that. The consoles do have an offline mode that they won't be on Diablo 3 that they won't be getting on Diablo 4. Q, you had a thought there?
No, it's just there's still so many areas where the whole online thing for gaming just sucks for a lot of people, and losing it on the consoles, I think, is just not awesome for a lot of those players, the more rural players.
I agree. Question of the week this week. Are you planning to try out Bless Unleashed, whether it's in the open beta here or in the upcoming release? And I also want to know your take on this. Is it a mistake for Bless Unleashed to be an Xbox One exclusive? I kind of feel like personally it is for a few reasons, but I want to get your take on it, and we'll give you our answers on next week's show as well. Until then, Q, where can everybody find you?
Playing around on Twitter at Quitland.
Jason.
On Twitter at Winter Informal, on twitch.tv/Jason Winter, and my email address is redacted.
Yeah, this is redacted. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally right there on Twitter at magicman1. Excuse me. I'm dying. But more
Finish the
importantly,
cast first, then
but
die.
more importantly, while you're there, follow at MMO Bomb before I die, and get all the latest tweets about news, articles, interviews, first look videos, giveaways, and more. Until next week, stay safe. See you on the servers.